How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today's video is on the latest update news and update information coming out tomorrow. As of the 23rd of March, you'll be able to get involved with these challenges and operations. We're going to go through all of them so you know exactly what's coming this week, and also give my opinions on some of the things, whether they're worth actually grinding towards or whether you should just leave them out for the week and continue with playing some other games or whatever. I think this week is actually fairly decent. I think we've got a few new stuff coming in, and definitely a big update in terms of one area of the game, but we'll get into that later on. First off, we will start off with the operations that you can complete and challenges this week, and then move on to the big finale at the end of the video. So first things first is the XP bonus operation. You're able to get an extra 25% XP bonus for one battle in one tank per day. This is available for every single tank that you own. So in order to get this 25% bonus XP, you'll have to deal 250 damage and assist in 200 damage in one battle. So you have to do it in one battle. It can't be, done over multiple ones, and you can get that operation done for every single vehicle you own, but only once per day, so you can't continually farm the same vehicle. Good for those of you grinding towards multiple tier 10s at the same time. Popping on and doing one game in every single tank that you have will obviously get you there faster, there towards the tier 10s 25% better than just playing one tank continuously. Now, that is pretty much it for that operation or challenge. It's available for 1 week until the 30th of March, at which point it will change, and then you'll get some another operation, probably a commander's one or something similar to that. The next one is the change to the on-track event. We have the T110E3 on-track event at the moment. As of the recording of this video, that will get replaced with the Progetto M40 Mod 65. So this is the tier 10 Italian tank. Really good. It's an auto reloader, so instead of the typical auto loader mechanic where it just resupplies the entire clip, this one actually resupplies each round in the clip, so you can fire off 2 shots out of the 3 shots and then reload the third one after you fired. So instead of having to wait for the entire clip to reload, you can store up rounds continuously until you've got a maximum amount, at which point you can unload all of them. I believe the reload changes with every single round you actually reload. So if you've got 1 in the clip, you'll reload faster, and then if you've got 2 in the clip, you'll reload the third one faster, and then once you're fully reloaded, you'll obviously not be able to reload anymore. If you then fire, it will drop down, and then you'll have to reload longer. So it's always about keeping as many shots in the clip. Obviously, you could just fire it like a single shot, firing every single time you reload, but if you store up the rounds, you can become an autoloader should you wish to. Now, this operation will last 2 weeks, as with every other on-track event. You'll get the 25% XP bonus for completing a battle in any of your previous tanks in the Italian tech tree. So that goes from the tier 3 all the way up to the tier 10. You'll be able to get discounts on silver, so between tier 3 and tier 6, if you want to pick them up, they're 50% discount, and then from tier 7 to tier 10, you'll be able to get a 30% discount on the tank as well. So make sure, if you want to grind down this line, you're doing it in the next 2 weeks from the 23rd of March. Now, that is pretty much the Progetto and the on-track event for that. We'll then move on to the knockout challenge, which is in order to earn the Chrysler K. Now, this is the heavily frontal armoured heavy tank from the American line at tier 8. You can complete this operation to get yourself one for free, so you don't have to pay anything for this tank, and it will be actually quite good for you to pick it up. You do get a decent silver bonus with this tank, so you will be able to make some money once you get it and use it as your premium tank if you really want to do that. Personally, I don't think I'm going to be, trying my socks off to get this tank. I'll probably just do it over the course of the 2 weeks. It's not one I'm particularly that fussed about. I think the armour doesn't really hold up as it does on PC, and it certainly isn't as good or overpowered as it once was. Yeah, so you've got 2 weeks to complete this Chrysler K operation, and then you'll actually be able to get your hands on some extra stuff, which you can see on screen right now. It's basically silver and some premium consumables that come with it as well. So in order to actually get this Chrysler K, you have to earn 1,000 XP or more in any number of battles. So in order to achieve it, you have to get 300,000 XP, basically, over the course of 2 weeks. That's not particularly too hard, I don't think. I think most of you who play the game pretty casually will be able to actually get it, as so long as you play, on average an hour a day, probably, maybe a little bit more. But for those of you who play any more than that, it should be really, really easy to pick yourself up this tank. Yeah, it certainly is. It's not too bad, and I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to lie, that if you got 2,000 XP for your daily double, I think that actually counts towards this. So you can actually get 2 completions as part of one battle. So it's not a case of if you earn 1,100 XP, it will count it as just 1,000. It will actually take on the 130 XP additional that you got onto the next challenge or the next completion of it. So that tends to be quite good. Additionally, you can also get multiple points per one if you manage to complete the earn boost, which is earn 5,000 or more XP in any number of battles. You can get that twice or once per day, and it resets every single day. So you'll get an extra 3 progress towards the Chrysler K earn. If you do that over 2 weeks, you're looking at probably a solid amount of points. You're probably looking at like 60 or 70 points, and then whilst completing this 5,000 XP, you'll also get 5 extra points as well, just from actually doing the operation itself. So you'll end up with 8 points per day, which is almost going to get you there, and then you can grind out some more if you really want to overpower yourself to get it really, really quickly. Obviously, it determines on whether you play the game more or less. And then finally, looking at the last thing of this update, it is the Polish medium tanks, and they are actually coming into the game on March 23rd, which is fantastic. I'm so glad that this has finally come into the game. I was hoping that they released this 2 weeks ago with the new season when it came out, but unfortunately it didn't. We've had to wait a little bit longer, but I'm so glad that they are finally here. I will be grinding through these, and I'll probably put up some gameplay and stuff of these tanks, tank reviews and stuff like that, so you guys know exactly what they're like. You can also, as part of this release, which is actually quite good, I'll give props to Wargaming for this, is that you can actually earn the premium skin of the CS63. Now, it's kind of a bit of a good one, but it's kind of difficult as well, because what I think is you have got a month to do it, and in order to do it, you need to earn 325,000 total damage to enemy vehicles across any number of matches, and then you get the Scorched Earth skin. The skin looks like you can see on screen right now. It's kind of like a burnt out wreck with some camo net on it around the barrel, and you can see just exactly what it looks like. I think it looks pretty decent personally, and I think it's not too bad of a challenge. You've got over a month to complete it, and when you're grinding through those Polish mediums, should you choose to do it, you can actually do it fairly fast, and you can get this CS63 within that time of earning the 325,000 damage. Now, what do I think about these Polish mediums? I think that they're actually quite good on PC, so when they come into console, ideally they will not be nerfed, because I don't get why they would be. I don't think they're particularly overpowered, which means that I think they'll be a decent choice for those of you who like medium tanks. I guess they're somewhat like a combination of some Russian mediums slapped on in with like it kind of looks like a T10, but it's kind of like Leo armor, like leopard armor. It really isn't fantastic, and you're not going to be bouncing very much in this thing. You can see it here on Prokhorovka. It looks quite nice, and I think it's definitely one that you guys should be aiming towards, as will I, as part of this video too. So this week's news looks really, really good. I did go over the Polish mediums in a previous video that I will link on screen at the end of the video, so if you want to have a look at that, then you can. Additionally, you can go back and look at any of the challenges if you want to make sure that you are familiar. Just pause the video at any point. But we'll take a bit more of an in-depth look at every single of the Polish mediums right now. So the first one is the DS Panzer 1, or I don't know how you pronounce that entirely, but that's what I've gone for. But this will cost you 365,000 silver. It's the tier 5, like T-34 medium tank, similar play style, so you'll get that kind of vibe when you play it. And then there's the boogie or buggy, whatever you want to call it. But this is going to cost you 915,000 silver. This is similar to what I don't know. It kind of looks like the duck tank, the AMX 30. I believe tier 4 on the French line. It looks somewhat similar, but I actually believe from PC experience that this tank is actually quite a good one, and you might actually have some fun whilst you play it, which can't be said for some of the other Polish mediums. I think some of them are pretty weak between like tier 7 and 8. I don't think they're particularly fantastic. But this one should be a bit of fun, and if you want to 3-mark it, then go ahead. The marks on the Polish tanks actually look quite nice. Then we have the CS44. This is the tier 8 Polish medium tank. Obviously, it costs 1.4 million silver, and it does 300 alpha damage when it's fully upgraded, I would suspect. Now, the CS44, what's special about it? Well, not particularly anything. I think it's going to be a pretty lackluster tank. From what I've heard about other players playing it, this is one that you really want to save up some free XP to just propel yourself through. It's probably okay for the more experienced players where you know how to trade and you can have some decent games, but it certainly isn't going to be one where you can carry very hard. And yeah, I think that it's going to be pretty difficult tank to play. And then at tier 8 we have the CS53. This is where they start becoming better, I think, in terms of tier for tier. I think, however, this is going to be one of those that you're not necessarily going to enjoy too much either. It would be similar to the CS52 Lys, except this is slightly faster, I believe. But yeah, I think if you enjoy the Lys, then this will be a good tank for you as well. And then we have the CS59. This is where it starts looking a bit like the Polish heavies in terms of the turret, but it isn't that strong and you're not going to be bouncing very many. The description says it's easier to go hold down, but realistically turrets on these are not very good against premium rounds, which pretty much everyone fires on console, so yeah, it's not going to be fun for you. Definitely don't go hold down, but you can use the accuracy of the gun to really punish enemies and use DPM as well. You get 8 degrees of gun depression, which means you can use it on ridge lines and get into position as well using the good mobility of the tank too. And finally, at tier 10, we have the CS63. This is the 390 alpha damage gun with all of the previous kind of style. It's got the mobility, but it has got this extra special thing that no other tank in the current game has. It's the gas turbine engine boost, which allows you to switch between the normal mode and the gas turbine mode, which allows you to increase your speed. However, it comes at the cost of your accuracy. You will literally not be able to hit anything on the move, even with our broken kind of accuracy on the move buffs that we got with update 6.0. the gun accuracy will be terrible. So you literally, every single time you come into conflict, you want to be switching back to the normal mode. And then when you want to shift from one side of the map to the other really, really quickly, you can do that by activating the rapid mode, and it will allow you to travel faster. So it's going to be a case of, the more experienced players are going to know when and where they should be going and when they need to push, and that's where the rapid mode will come into effect. If you're less experienced, you probably won't need to use the rapid mode as much because it comes at such a cost. You decrease your concealment, you also decrease your accuracy. It's just going to leave you high and dry if you put yourself in a position that isn't optimal for the tank. If you do end up in the rapid mode, you can go to 70 kilometers an hour. That's rivaling some of the fastest light tanks in the game, and it certainly is going to be rapid for you guys to play. I hope that you get your hands on this tank, give it a go, and use this novel tank when you can. It will cost you 6 million silver to actually purchase it. We haven't got any boosts that reduce it, and also no boost to the actual earn potential of any of the tanks, not like the on-track event. So you will have to actually earn all of these XP points when you play. Other than that, that is literally everything in the video. I want to hear your thoughts on the Polish mediums, whether you're happy about it and all of the other operations. You've got the Chrysler K earn operation and also the Polish mediums arriving. I hope you guys will enjoy this week in World of Tanks, and also let me know what you think in this video and also some previous future videos that I am going to do on this channel. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a good rest of the week. And I hope to see you in the next video. Obviously, more videos on screen right now if you want to check out some of the older ones I've done on relevant news, and also some other gameplay video that I have recently uploaded. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day once again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.